Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Soaps.com has the most recent General Hospital spoilers from Monday, May 5th to Friday, May 9th. Cody finds himself in a precarious situation, Jason delivers some tough love, and a life-changing decision is made. Plus, Sasha and Willow square off. General Hospital spoilers for the week of May 5th. General Hospital spoilers for Monday, May 5th. Nina's plan goes wrong. Dante is furious. Cody stumbles into a perilous position. Carly counsels Lulu. Jocelyn feels guilty. Can't wait to go back, Laura Wright says as she leaves paradise behind. General Hospital spoilers for Tuesday, May 6th. Lois pleads with Dante. Will Tracy be the one to realize that Gio is Brook Lynn's son? Rocco offers an apology. Alexis is on the hot seat. Drew gets important information. Christina opens up to Lucky. General Hospital spoilers for Wednesday, May 7th. Christina extends an olive branch. Lulu is grateful. Brook Lynn is perplexed. Gio opens up to Emma. Brennan briefs Joss and Vaughn. General Hospital spoilers for Thursday, May 8th. Jason delivers some rough love. Dante opens out to Sunny. Brad makes a life-altering decision. Portia seeks information from Willow. Curtis and Nina sympathize. General Hospital spoilers for Friday, May 9th. Sasha and Willow had a heated interaction. Lulu questions Ned. Brook Lynn and Chase meet with Alexis. Tracy is astonished. Sidwell submits an offer. This week's episode of General Hospital was packed with action. Between Nina and Portia drugging Drew and Brook Lynn informing Granny that she had a baby in high school, there were some amazing surprises. Nina's latest strategy, however, backfired spectacularly, and everyone in Port Charles, with the exception of Dante, would soon be aware of Brook Lynn's pregnancy. Let's talk about what happened on the ABC soap this week. Drew and Willow detractors had little time to celebrate their deaths on General Hospital because it only took him seconds to realize he had been drugged, and Willow promptly gave him the benefit of the doubt. Come on, writers, you might have had them both suffer a little longer. Portia should have known not to spike Drew's drink with ketamine, as it would have shown up in his blood tests, and she should have understood what medicines to use, given that she is a doctor. However, several of the drug-related quips made me laugh, such as Brad admitting he had known Portia rolled that way when she asked for ketamine. Then Mac informed Drew that ketamine is a party drug, and asked if he was certain he hadn't taken too much of it. A detective like Mac believing that Special K is something Drew would be interested in demonstrates how far Drew has fallen as a person. Tracy was with Drew when Jacinda spiked his drink. Thus Drew suspects Tracy was behind it. However, this is going to boomerang back and bite Nina in the buttocks. Here's hoping that the truth about Scummy Drew is revealed at the nurses' ball, leaving Willow sad and devastated for more than 15 seconds. We as viewers deserve to watch Drew suffer. The latest worst-kept secret. Brook Lynn informing Tracy about her baby, except that Dante is the father, and throwing Lulu under the bus to Granny was unexpected. Congratulations to the writers for that surprise. I really liked how Tracy was moved to tears as Brook Lynn revealed what had occurred to her. Give Jane Elliott a Daytime Emmy for just one scene. Hell, award her an Emmy for being the show's saving grace lately. Now that Tracy is aware, we can definitely expect the investigation to begin, revealing Gio as Dante and Brook Lynn's kid. This storyline has lasted far too long and must come to a conclusion. I've already stated that I could imagine Gio turning on Lois and even Brook Lynn because he already had a mother he adored. However, because he never had a father, he was able to form a kinship with Dante. Tracy's relationship with Gio will most likely be critical in healing the damage that will occur when this truth is finally disclosed. Last week I raged about Lulu and her adoption story, and how she could have chosen any other topic to write about but decided to pitch that one on purpose in the hopes of being selected. It was great to see Lulu confess it, and Laura warns her daughter that if she reveals a secret that is not her own, she must be prepared to face the repercussions. Thank you, Laura, for pointing out your daughter's recent behavior. Laura telling Lulu exactly what Brook Lynn has repeatedly told her has finally reached Lulu, now that it has come from her mother. Laura discussing her own switched-at-birth experience was also an excellent method to incorporate Laura's background into this plot. Final thoughts about the storyline. I've said it before, and it's an unpopular opinion, but I envision Emma being pulled into the WSB, if she isn't already there. Professor Dalton's arrival from the Bay Area, along with Emma's expulsion from Berkeley for what she discovered in their labs, seems far too coincidental, as Anna phrased it. Joss taking Emma's work for Dalton was a disgusting move. Furthermore, Emma appears to have enough evidence to claim Joss stole her model, given she designed it and can explain it in ways Joss most likely cannot. And, to be honest, Joss struggled in her pre-med study, so I doubt she has what it takes to be a scientific genius and come up with what Emma achieved. Anna gunning down Dalton at the Savoy was hilarious. Sorry, Dalton. Just because you both have accents does not imply you should date. The moment Rocco and Danny arrived at the college beach party, it was clear that this would morph into an underage drinking scenario. Perhaps it will be Lulu's next major story for the Landview Banner. Also, why is she writing for another town's newspaper? Couldn't she have taken a position at the Invader, where she had previously worked? Writers, you failed to deliver on Alexis's commitment papers. Alexis failed to provide adequate answers to Christina and Molly about why she had them drawn up, and the tale vanished for the rest of the week. Maybe that's a blessing, as I'm sure some fans didn't mind the Davis sisters' vacation. Finally, Mike's visit while Sunny was under was another pleasant surprise this week. But does anyone really believe Sunny will leave the mob? Willow wants Drew to address her questions, Joss wants Vaughn to help her, and Brook Lynn simply wants Lulu to leave. Willow, despite reluctantly allowing him in, wants nothing to do with Drew, who tries to explain himself while a happy Nina listens from the sidelines. He attempts to explain that it doesn't even sound like something he would do, but Willow wonders if she just doesn't know him. The video shows what the video shows, Nina shouts, striving hard to keep Willow from giving in to his arguments. He asks Willow to trust him, but she responds that is all she has done, and she may lose her children as a result of his activities. Willow discovered in Germany how much Michael hates her, and what she had done. Laura continues their chat from yesterday's episode, demonstrating her intuition by asking what her daughter is actually up to. Lulu tells her mother what she knows and that she is unsure what to do, without admitting that she is referring to Brook Lynn's kid. Lulu is weary of being told it's not her secret to tell, but she wonders whether the burden of silence makes it her secret to disclose. Laura advises her not to play God in the lives of others. Laura discusses how hard her own situation was with Nicholas and advises Lulu to approach with caution. Tracy is laughing with delight as she reads about Lulu's video of Drew's exploits. I'm sending that gal flowers right now, Tracy says, pressing all of Brook Lynn's buttons by dubbing the blonde a national treasure. She storms off and Chase follows, discovering that she is completely freaked out by the notion that Lulu is writing an adoption story for the Landview Banner. Chase attempts to calm her down, but it's not going to work. He proposes they go talk to Dante, but she declines, explaining that she is torn between seeking out her child and leaving him alone. But all she really wants is for Lulu to back off. Chase comes over to Dante's and demands that Lulu stop bothering Brook Lynn. The guys argue, with Chase begging his friend to persuade Lulu not to tell the story. Brook Lynn apologizes to Tracy, who prefers an explanation rather than a mea culpa. Why is Brook Lynn so riled up over Lulu? Especially given that Brook Lynn has a lot better life situation than her competition. Yet, despite everything, Lulu's sheer presence agitates you. Why is that? Tracy wonders. Gio discusses AJ's death with Tracy after hearing Jason's account. Needless to say, she still does not believe the story Sunny has been presenting for years. She also ensures that Gio understands one of Port Charles's unbreakable rules. Sunny does Jason's dirty job, whether it involves firing the trigger or uttering a lie. She also mentions that Jason's move to the Quartermain home was not easy. She feels Gio, like Jason, has a lot of potential. She just hopes Sunny does not take that away from him in the same manner that the maid man did Jason. Joss and Emma are both in the hospital to support Trina and Kai, the latter of whom has surgery scheduled for today. After discussing Professor Dalton's extra credit project, Vaughn invites her to a corner for an update. She tells her story. Dalton used a keycard to get entrance to a hospital room, where he removed a briefcase before meeting Anna at the Savoy. Vaughn appears impressed by the information she's provided. Emma later invites Joss to a party happening that night. Meanwhile, Trina kisses Kai for good luck as he is wheeled into surgery before joining Joss and Emma in the waiting area. They assist keep her safe from the documentary director. Emma completes the data collection required for her work with Professor Dalton. Joss approaches Vaughn at the elevator bank and discreetly informs him that she requires his assistance in retrieving the information containing thumb drive, copying the data, corrupting it, and returning it to Emma without her knowledge. Vaughn asks if she's okay with basically betraying a buddy. Dante receives a call from Yuri informing him that Rocco and Danny have made a terrible mess at the Coeur boathouse. Dante confronts the lads, telling them they're old enough to know better, and that they should go clean up after themselves. While there, the boys decide to crash the beach party, despite the fact that it is intended for college students. In the final minutes, Drew begs Willow to give him another opportunity. She's never known him to drink or do drugs, let alone act like he did last night. He's going to the hospital for a blood test and requests that she accompany him, which she grudgingly agrees to do. Laura visits Jish to sit with Trina while Kai is in surgery. Dante informs Lulu that he wants her assistance with Brook Lynn. And after an intense confrontation with Tracy, Brook Lynn tells her grandmother that Lulu knows she had a baby in high school and is holding it over her head. Drew, on his knees and quivering with desperation, begs Willow's forgiveness. His eyes are filled with guilt, and his hands shake as he reaches for hers, but she backs away, her expression a mix of pain and confusion. The weight of his mistakes sits heavy between them, creating a divide that is hard to cross. He had believed he could keep his secrets hidden, that the lies would not catch up with him, but now everything is unraveling. Willow's once unwavering confidence has been destroyed, and no amount of pleading appears to be enough to rebuild it. She turns away, her heart aching, refusing to allow herself to be hurt again. Drew's words ring in the silence, hollow and insufficient, as he realizes the extent of the harm he has inflicted. Meanwhile, Joss observes in the shadows a sneer on her lips. She had been waiting for this moment, biding her time while Drew and Willow's relationship deteriorated. Now, with Drew at his lowest, she sees an opportunity, one she will not pass up. Joss has always been calculated, her movements exact, and her intentions concealed beneath a veneer of camaraderie. But underneath the surface, animosity is simmering. She has been disregarded and underestimated, and now she is prepared to strike. As Drew continues to plead with Willow, unconscious of the fury developing behind him, Joss sneaks away, her thoughts already racing with her next action. She understands just how to take advantage of the circumstance, how to twist the knife just enough to assure Drew's ultimate demise. Her betrayal is meticulously planned, with no possibility for atonement. She has gathered facts and secrets of her own, and she wants to use them at the appropriate time. The game is in action, and Joss is desperate to win. Willow, still grieving from Drew's confession, feels like the walls are closing in on her. She believed in him and defended him even when others doubted. Now the truth is too much to handle. Every word he says feels like a lie, another layer of dishonesty she can't get past. She wonders if she truly knew him at all. The love they once shared feels like a distant memory, shrouded by betrayal. Part of her wants to think he's honest, that his guilt is genuine, but the agony is too recent and the wounds are too deep. She takes a step back, shaking her head, her voice barely above a whisper as she informs him that it's over. Drew's heart sank. He hoped, foolishly, that she would understand and give him another chance. But the look in her eyes tells him all he needs to know. There's no turning back now. He rests his head in his hands, the weight of his actions crushing him. He had risked everything for selfish motives, and now he is paying the price. The thought of losing Willow forever is devastating, but he knows he can only blame himself. Joss, who has now left the scene, makes a phone call. Her voice is smooth and confident as she shares the information she has been keeping back. The person on the other end is listening closely, their attention peaked. Joss understands that this is the beginning of Drew's end. By the time she's finished, his reputation and connections will be ruined. She hangs up, a sense of fulfillment surging through her. This is exactly what she wanted all along, to see him suffer and experience the same powerlessness she did. Back with Willow, the silence is overwhelming. She stares at the ground, her thoughts whirling. Part of her wants to flee away from the situation Drew has gotten her into. But another half, the part that loves him despite everything, is hesitant. She wonders if individuals can actually change, and whether second chances are worth the risk. But then she remembers the lies and treachery, and her resolve stiffens. She can't go back after this. According to General Hospital spoilers, Sasha Gilmore Corbin and Willow Corinthos are about to have a heated argument. Some harsh words and angry accusations will be exchanged. So let's discuss what's in store for Willow and Sasha on May 9th. Sasha and Willow formerly had a solid friendship, but it's clearly been shattered. Willow and Sasha can no longer be in the same room without fighting, so it's unsurprising that they'll fight when they meet again. When Sasha meets Willow, tension quickly rises. It will be interesting to watch who attacks first and initiates another round of warfare between them. Regardless, the subject of Drew Kane will undoubtedly come up during this confrontation. Sasha may take a shot or two at Willow for sticking by Drew despite his public disgrace. Perhaps Sasha would accuse Willow of doing it to save face, or say that she is deluding herself into believing Drew is innocent in order to justify her affair. After Willow threw away her marriage to Michael Corinthos, Sasha may believe Willow is clinging to the image of Drew as her knight in shining armor, despite his actions proving otherwise. Fans of General Hospital know Nina Reeves set Drew up with the help of Portia Robinson and Jacinda, but Sasha may believe Drew simply revealed his true colors. Whatever the situation, Sasha will undoubtedly defend Michael throughout the upcoming hot scenes, but she must exercise caution. Michael also cheated on Sasha and got her pregnant with his child, but Willow is still unaware of this. Sasha doesn't need to be antagonizing Willow or raising questions about her unborn child's paternity. Sasha has successfully sold Jason Morgan as her fictitious baby daddy, but how long can they keep up the ruse? Regardless, Willow is unlikely to discover the truth just yet, but it will be fun to watch her compete with Sasha as the week of May 5th to 9th comes to a close. According to General Hospital spoilers, Sasha may foretell Drew shattering Willow's heart in the end, so stay tuned for any heartbreaking news. Brook Lynn tells Tracy almost everything about her baby, and Drew suspects he knows who drugged him. Friday, May 2nd, 2025. Today on General Hospital, Joss steals Emma's flash drive, Rocco overindulges at the beach party, and Carly and Nina try to discourage Willow from forgiving Drew. Carly arrives at Nina's and expresses her amazement at how she came through for them, presuming the footage of Drew was solely Nina's responsibility. They sit down, and Nina describes the original plan, which went awry when Jacinda and Drew caused a commotion at the Savoy. Willow then discovered what appeared to be Drew in bed with Jacinda. Nina knew it had to be done, but she blames herself for hurting Willow. Carly knows what it's like to discover your spouse in bed with another woman, but it had to be done. Now Michael and Willow can sort things out. Nina fears that will not happen. Nina explains that Drew tried to persuade Willow that he doesn't remember anything, and now he's going to undergo a blood test that will reveal ketamine in his system. Carly informs her she should have used a different medicine, one that leaves the bloodstream rapidly. She argues that this will make Drew an even bigger victim in Willow's eyes, thus bringing Willow closer to Drew. Planning for the nurses' ball. Lucy works in the Quartermain kitchen with Lois and Maxie to arrange the nurses' ball. Lucy wonders whether there is a way to keep Carly backstage out of their hair all night. Maxie and Lois' eyes popped out. Maxie points out that it's Carly's hotel, and Lois replies they can hear her no matter where she is. Lucy is concerned that Carly will cause a commotion with Drew and Willow, but Maxie reassures Lucy that she has caused more scenes at the ball than anybody else. Lucy exits, and Lois talks to Maxie about Brook Lynn. She expresses gratitude for being a good friend to her kid, and says she will need her relationship now more than ever. Brook Lynn leaves Tracy in tears and stunned in the living room after revealing that she had a baby in high school, and gave it up for adoption. Brook Lynn explains that until recently, her mom was the only one who knew. Tracy apologizes for lying to her grandmother, but she claims she did not. Brook Lynn claims she attempted for years to forget about her son, and was unaware of his existence until lately. Lulu told her, and Tracy learns how she broke into Martin's room to get dirt on Valentine and discovered her baby. Tracy wonders how Martin got involved. Brook Lynn explains that her mother spoke with him to ensure that the adoption remained sealed. She goes on to explain how Lulu confronted her and accused her of doing everything wrong, and that the father had a right to know. Maybe she should have told him, but she was too terrified. Tracy advises her not to second-guess herself. She inquires as to whether she intended to abandon the child. Does she regret her decision? Brook Lynn does, but she also understands that she was an adolescent, and raising a child would have been extremely difficult. She realized she wasn't ready to be a mother, and Lois was there for her. She wanted to offer her child a better life than she had as a teen. Tracy feels she made a responsible decision, and is proud of herself. Brook Lynn resorted to her mother, who turned to her own mother for assistance, as she recently discovered. She also knows that her mother had to help her give up her own grandchild. Tracy occasionally tells her how strong she is, and she has always considered herself the best of the Quartermaines. She also informs Brook Lynn that she does not owe it to Ned to tell him about the baby, and that she did not have to, but she appreciates her doing so. Tracy has to wonder, given what she and Chase are going through, has she been tempted to find her son? Brook Lynn has, but the goal is to provide him a better life. The only way she'll see her son is if he comes looking for her, but Lulu believes she should inform everyone. Tracy understands that Lulu, like her father, can be pompous and stubborn. Tracy sobs heartbroken that Brook Lynn was too terrified to tell her, and vows never to doubt her love for her. They embrace. Later, Lois meets Tracy to discuss the nurse's ball. Tracy just wants to talk about one thing, where her great-grandson is. Back in the kitchen, Brook Lynn is relieved to see Maxie after dealing with Quartermaine's insane behavior. Maxie wonders whether she can help. Brook Lynn claims she cannot confide in Maxie until she chooses a side. Is she her buddy or Lulu's? Brook Lynn adds that things have escalated to the point where Maxie must make a decision. Brook Lynn walks away, leaving Maxie dumbfounded. Drew gets tested. Drew thanks Willow for accompanying him to the hospital, and promises to find out what's going on. When Amy notices them, she gossips with another nurse about why Willow is with Drew, and whether he is here to get tested for STIs. Amy later apologizes to Willow for what transpired. She claims she can do far better than stay with a dishonest man. Willow tells her to stop chatting and return to work. Drew returns from having his blood drawn and thanks Willow once more for her support. Isaiah appears and explains that Drew has ketamine in his system. Drew admits he was drugged and asks Willow if she believes him. She does, and he praises her since it means a lot to him. She just wants to get home, so he tells her to take his car since he has business to take care of. She assures him she'll see him at their house and kisses his cheek. Willow departs and Drew spots Mac and Felicia. Drew speaks with Mac about reporting a crime and shows him his blood work results, which indicate he was drugged. Mac inquires about the last person he remembers being with. Drew has a foggy memory of Tracy. Back at Nina's, she warns Carly that the more they put pressure on Drew, the more likely he is to make a mistake. Carly believes she must persuade Willow that Drew took those drugs and cheated, since if she does not divorce Drew, Michael will never allow her to raise her children with him. Nina refuses to push Willow, fearing that she may become suspicious. Willow just steps in the door. Lulu confesses her feelings to Dante. At Lulu's, Dante requests that she listen to him. He claims that she already won big with the Drew tale, and does not need the adoption narrative. He asks her to write about something different. Lulu refuses to allow Brook Lynn determine who and what she writes about. She will not jeopardize her profession for Brook Lynn's sake. Dante informs her that Chase and Brook Lynn are his friends, and they are struggling. He reminds her of their own fertility issues and how difficult it was for them. Lulu knows she wouldn't have gotten it through that period without him. Lulu explains that this is an important story that must be told. She questions why Brook Lynn's needs are more essential than her own. Brook Lynn is not a damsel in distress, and if Dante knew what she knew, he knows she's upset about his fling with BLQ that he didn't tell her about, but this isn't about Brook Lynn. He believes it is due to the fact that she is still in love with him. Lulu initially denies it, but finally concedes it is real and wonders who informed him. Dante claims it doesn't matter, and that he should not have said anything. She says he did, so let's discuss. Dante is relieved she's back, but she's been driving him crazy since she awoke. He spoke with Maxie, who told him that Lulu had broken up with Dustin to be with him just before falling into a coma. He assumed she'd gone on with Dustin, and he never knew how she felt. He unexpectedly fell in love with Sam. He asks Lulu if she believes he should have waited for him. Lulu says she wasn't expecting him to wait and is grateful Sam was there for him and Rocco. It comes out that she is jealous of Sam, not Brook Lynn. Sam is the woman who died to save her, which makes her feel terrible. Lulu adds that she is trying to move on, but she sometimes feels caught in the past, and the truth is that she is still in love with him while he is in love with Sam. Dante admits he's still in love with her. Emma, Joss, and Gio are at the beach party when Vaughn, who is wet and shirtless, arrives. He claims that he is not at the party and was simply out for his nightly swim. Emma claims the water must be freezing, but he insists it's good for your circulation. He proposes she join him, and Emma asks Gio if he is interested. Emma is unconcerned about Joe's lack of a swimsuit. Gio and Emma decide to go for it, strip down to their underwear and jump in with Vaughn. Joss then searches Emma's clothes and steals her flash drive. Gio, Vaughn, and Emma eventually emerge from the water, and Joss reappears with the flash disc. Vaughn offers they warm up over the bonfire, but Emma prefers to get dressed first. Joss throws Vaughn a look since she can't get the drive back into Emma's jeans. Also at the party, Rocco and Danny get some red Solo cups of liquor. Danny advises him he doesn't have to drink it, simply hold it to blend in. They spoke to a handful of PCU girls. Danny explains that they are new freshmen. Rocco is nervous and starts drinking the poison punch. Danny ends up departing with the two females to play beach volleyball, leaving Rocco to continue drinking. Meanwhile, a newly dressed Vaughn and Joss discuss what to do about Emma and the flash drive. Joss made a copy, and she must return this disc to Emma because it contains her data, which she ruined. Vaughn says she'll have to place it on Emma, so Joss asks if he knows how. Joss realizes Danny is right behind them, and they both fear. Joss informs him neither of them were present. Danny says deal and walks away. Vaughn asks Joss whether he would be a problem, but Joss replies he does not want his father to know he was drinking at a college party. Later, Emma and Gio approach Joss and inquire as to what Joss and Aquaman were discussing. The episode concludes with Rocco knocked out drunk on the beach. The tension between Sasha and Willow had been building for weeks, a slow-burning fuse that ultimately exploded in a fight that astonished everyone around them. What began as a friendly conversation suddenly turned into a heated argument, with both women refusing to back down. The air was thick with animosity, each statement sharper than the last, as years of hidden grudges sprang to the surface. It had all started innocently enough, a simple argument about a shared project. However, the conversation quickly veered into personal area. Sasha, her voice oozing with disgust, accused Willow of constantly playing the victim. You act like the world is against you, but the truth is you just can't handle competition, Sasha snarled, her eyes flashing with barely held rage. Willow, never one to back down from a confrontation, hit back immediately. Oh, that's rich coming from you. You've been undermining me from day one, always whispering behind my back like a coward. The charges came quick and furious, each one hitting like a well-placed punch. Sasha grumbled and crossed her arms. Please, you're just mad because you can't control everything. Not everyone is going to bow down to you, Willow. Willow's cheeks flushed with rage as she drew closer, her voice low but seething. And not everyone is fooled by your fake charm, Sasha. People are starting to see right through you. The hatred between them was apparent, and their mutual dislike was now on display for all to see. Friends and coworkers who had known them for years watched in stunned silence, unsure whether to intervene or let them talk it out. There was no disputing that this was more than a trivial disagreement. Years of rivalry, envy, and whispered grievances had finally come to light. Sasha twisted her lips into a mocking smile. Willow's hand squeezed into fists at her sides. You always have to be the center of attention, don't you? Even now you're loving this drama. You don't know anything about me. The only thing you care about is yourself. The words hung in the air, heavy with finality. There was no going back from this. Whatever tenuous ceasefire they had previously managed had now been destroyed beyond repair. The consequences of their confrontation were immediate. Whispers spread through their social circle, and people took sides, putting old ties to the test. Some supported Sasha, claiming Willow had always been overly pushy. Others supported Willow, accusing Sasha of manipulation and deception. The separation simply widened the schism, transforming what was once a private feud into a public spectacle. In the days that followed, neither woman showed signs of giving up. If anything, their rage seemed to worsen.